I do get your point. Donald Trump gets the crowd anyway. Why confine yourself to this wing of the Republican Party, the Palin, Bachmann, Kaine wing of the Republican Party? I will say this about Donald Trump. Mike, at some point, he's going to have to start working on expanding his base within the Republican Party. By the way, I'm saying this as a guy that's saying right now, I had a guy ask me from Florida yesterday, who's going to win the nomination. I said, well, you know, if I were betting all my money, I'd put right now about 75% of it on Donald Trump. So I'm saying this is somebody that thinks he can win the nomination. At some point, he's got to turn the corner and start expanding the base. And you just sit and wonder, a guy who's in first place, picking a fight every single day, you not only chase off Republicans, but God help the Republican Party if he wins the nomination and he's fighting between now and the convention.
But see, I think that you're looking at this from the position and the point of view of a normal person, a normal I don't think he's thinking about that. I kind of agree with Mark. I think he's thinking about the first two states. He knows instinctively, and probably he's been told, and he feels it when he comes to a state like New Hampshire.
He's all instinct.
You can win New Hampshire with 24%.
He's all instinct. I'll say one thing too, Mika. Donald Trump has survived and has become a billionaire many times over by constantly being underestimated.
I'm not underestimated.
I know you're not. I'm just saying in general, you know, and we've said this to our audience before. You and I talk to Donald on the phone all the time. You know, I told him 4 or 5 times early in the campaign, you can't say that about John McCain. You got to go out and apologize. You can't say that about so-and-so. You got to go out and apologize. About the after the 4th or 5th time, I said, never mind, Don. Yeah. I mean, whatever you're doing is working for you. I wouldn't do it. But I don't get it, but never mind. I'm not giving you advice
So I've never seen strategy of Donald Trump's not work, but I think this goes right against the Make America Great Again brand. I think he's just heard it twice in the past 2 weeks.
Don't underestimate Ivanka's role and ability to keep him from going fully off the rails. He does 1,000 things that any normal campaign manager or strategist would say, stop it, don't do that. But they say, let Trump be Trump, let him use his instincts, and so far it's worked.
Well, but there is pacing. And it has been I'm serious, there's a constant fight. Donald could use a week or two of quiet and of peace.
Going to soup kitchens.
Just whatever. It's a constant barrage.
Well, I think, and I don't think I'm the only person who thinks this, we are on the verge of one of the greatest political stories of a generation if he wins the first 2 states, Iowa and New Hampshire. That is going to be just an enormously huge cultural/political story. The other aspect of it is, and you just alluded to it, is at what point do voters in state after state think to themselves before they cast their ballot, do I really want to listen to Donald Trump every day for the next 4 years?
I actually think right now in the Republican base, a lot of people would rather listen to Donald Trump over the next 4 years than governors like Scott Walker, Jeb Bush, or senators like Marco Rubio. Who still can't tell us what his position is on abortion. I know. I'm talking about getting through the primary. I think right now it is likely that Donald Trump continues to do very well. And, Mika, you know, I saw Megyn Kelly last night for a few minutes. She sounded like Rachel Maddow. Bill attacking Trump. I mean, it was vicious. And then you have Bill Kristol saying he will never vote for Donald Trump. A civil war is coming in the Republican Party if this continues. I think that's the most likely scenario.
So we walked in the room today. It was 5:57, and you said you're not getting a truck.
Correct. Yeah.
Because we have a bet. If he wins the nomination, I get a truck.
Yeah.
What was it? No, a real brand new FJ. I think we're going for an FJ. What was it that? Why'd you say no?
Why did you say Trump's not going to win the nomination?
I mean, it's to my point, I'm sure.
Because I think it's going to be just an enormously important story. I think he is more likely than not to win Iowa and New Hampshire, and that's when the fight is really joined.
I think if he wins Iowa, New Hampshire, Katie barred the door.
All right, still ahead.
It's over.
It's over. In fact,
I don't think so anymore. I used to have done that.
Listen, Donald Trump's strength, mark it down, is the Deep South.
Yep.
If Donald Trump gets past Iowa and New Hampshire in first place, he wins South Carolina by 20. He wins Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi by 20, 25, 30. If he wins Iowa and New Hampshire, this fight is over. Nobody can come close. We got to go to break. We're already at 25 minutes. I'm fascinated. We can continue this conversation next.
Fascinating news from the Democrats.